Perfect. Welcome to the Introverts podcast.
We're actually going to start it like that, too.
Yeah.
I hope you're happy with that intro, because that's all you're going to get.
Welcome to some of the stupid shit.
This is
welcome.
the start of the podcast.
We actually kind of started the podcast like 10, 15 minutes ago, but we weren't recording because setup.
Me and
That's the
Michael
way
doing
it
some
always
stupid
goes.
shit.
Yeah.
I wish we recorded that. That was funny.
You guys
Some of
sounded
the
like
Star Wars titles.
That's what they were doing for a solid 10
Titles,
minutes.
We were sneeze singing.
I think
No. We'll do that later.
I think you guys sounded more drunk talking about that than you guys did at all. Like in every party I've
Last
seen you guys
night.
at.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
night.
Last night.
Last night
Party.
especially, yeah, but even general, you know,
Fair,
you guys are
fair.
freaking just like. You guys are going off on stuff that honestly had no right to be funny, but because you guys are cackling like maniacs over here, it was. Anyways.
I mean, how else was it gonna work? It was these two.
Yeah, we're usually laughing like idiots for no reason.
Yeah, well, that's half
That's
the
right.
reason
We're
we
used
started the
to it by now.
podcast, right?
Yeah.
Fair, fair.
All right.
So today we are doing board games.
Board games.
I thought you play board games, not do them.
Depends on
Hey.
the game.
We didn't say that sexual board games were off limits.
Tabletop games?
Okay, then that
No,
narrows
no.
it down a lot more.
Those are called countertop games.
Mm.
I mean,
Either way, you can lay them horizontal and still play.
Or you could pin them vertically on a wall.
Now we're talking about board games or sex. Now I'm just confused.
Both.
That does not make sense for a board game to go on
Pin
the
the tail
wall.
on a donkey, dude. Oh, fuck.
Is that even considered
Is
a
that-
board game?
No, it's not.
Let us know in the comments section. Is Pin the Tail on the Donkey a board game?
There's just gonna be 2 comments on this video. Just said yes, no, and then like
And
a
then
third
the-
one that says "fuck you."
And the other
Yeah.
one's just
Fuck, is this a question?
and the other one's just gonna say, "Daddy." You can pin me on the wall,
What
Daddy.
specifically about board games did you want to bring up?
Yeah.
everything. We're beginning with favorite board games.
Oh.
Fuck.
Well, like, cause like out of all of us,
Sex is your favorite board game? All right, Fernando.
yeah, that's fair. But like out of all of us, I think like who plays the most board games aside from it's Jason, hands down, right?
Yeah, easily.
Jason and then you.
Well, yeah, but I only play like one board game and like card games. every
Okay,
now and
but
again.
you
I play
play
a
more
variety.
than probably any of us. Like in second place wise, you probably play more
For
than
the
most of
record,
us.
I'm also including card games for this.
Well, yeah, I'd count that as a board
obviously.
game.
Well, yeah. Now the question is, does poker count?
Yes.
I'd say yes.
Okay,
I'd say so.
then yeah. Then all I play is pretty much poker and Axis and Allies. That's about it. Like I only really play Axis.
Most
and
people
Allies.
don't go as far as Axis and Allies for a board
Asses
game.
and Allies.
Asses and Allies.
Asses and Allies. I
Allies.
feel like
for
that's
a board game.
like the porno version of Axis and Allies.
It's on Booty Hub.
What that? Germany and just Japan getting fucked for the entire game.
It's like that. It's like
They
that.
start off where Russia is like max power, making $50 a turn. Germany's at like 18. This is like Russian winter post post nukes in Japan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Asses and
Asses and Allies. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know if any of you guys on YouTube know about this game, but basically it's just like a World War II strategy game. It's just a turn-based game. We play it on every now and again, probably like twice a year if we're lucky.
If we're lucky.
Yeah.
The reason that is because it takes so damn long to play a game.
It took us, what, 10 hours last week?
Well, okay, we just did that straight, and we were all exhausted by the end of it.
Yeah.
So
It's
we all wanted to stop. We're like, let's just finish it.
it's normally like a week. Like depending on the version, you can go from a week-long affair to like at least 2 days. Probably is manageable. Like probably the healthy way to do it is like 2 days.
Yeah, we suck, and we just try to fit as much time as we can in a 24-hour span, and then just never come back to
We
But-
binge game.
But like the TLDR way I would normally describe Axis and Allies is like Risk but on steroids, like butt fucking Mr. Clean. So that's like the standard way I would describe it. Well, that's what it is. I mean, like I don't like not very many people play
I
it.
agree with the risk on steroids, but not butt fucking Mr. Clean.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I was like, that's a weird one to throw in there, man.
well, no, you're just trying to do both at the same time, right?
no.
Yes.
Why are you trying to butt fucking Mr. Clean and play risk?
Because have you seen that?
Because you
sexy
can
ball
use
kind
a
of his?
plunger.
Well, Well, yeah.
To hold on.
Fernando, go play pool if you
Soap
want
sponge on his head.
Mr. Clean.
That's true. No, but like
clean the pool.
Almost skim it.
But like I absolutely
so
love that
dumpster.
game though because like me and my brother we play it all the time. Like I think I showed you guys last time you came over that me and my brother had like one of the biggest versions of Axis and Allies on the Pacific side, and that game had already been going on for about as long as our game went for. So our game went for like 12 hours. That game took 12 hours to
Are
get.
you serious? It
I-
looks like nothing had been done.
Oh no, there was like 3 different navies sunk.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, there was a lot. I don't know if you noticed, but like a lot of the. Oh yeah, I guess you wouldn't know the difference because you guys haven't played the big version. But there's like a lot of naval bases and stuff like that the game
Yeah.
starts with. All of the original naval bases had been gone and scrapped, and we had to rebuild all new ones for
Oh,
everywhere we were.
no.
Right.
Rough.
So it was. It took a while for us to get there, but yeah, no, it's a fun game. But it was one of those games that actually like taught me a lot about life and. I know that sounds super fucking cheesy. I know it really does, but like it's like because my dad grew up playing this game, right? That's why we love it so much. Is he would play with us when we were all the time, and I still haven't beaten his ass. But like the entire thing is like how are you going to use your resources and money? I mean that's entirely what World War II is about. So I feel like it's probably one of the best World War II games out there, simply by the aspect of like it's just resource management. So it's just a really freaking cool game.
Shoot, the game taught me more about money than school ever did. So
Yeah,
I guess
seriously.
that's cool.
That's
Not
my
wrong there.
point.
You're definitely not wrong there. Fuck.
That's my freaking point about it is that it's just like it's actually like a pretty interesting and well done. It's a well balanced game overall too. You know, like it's
Well, it's not like other games with currency. Like I guess a popular one with currency is Monopoly, right? Monopoly, you don't get penalized for not really having much money if you're buying up all the properties, because if you're buying up as many properties as you can and upgrading them, and people land on them, you're just raking in the cash. Well, yeah, it can teach you a different kind of way to use money.
this is like
which
the
is-
investing style of money.
But that's like more like further down the line when you have more money to play with. Typically, Access and Allies is a bit better with, like you said, resource management, where you only have a certain amount of money to work with each turn, which actually kind of teaches you how to work with a paycheck. Okay, you have to set some aside for a bomber, X amount for a couple tanks.
You need a couple of grunts to take the hits for shit that you know you
This
can't afford
turn, I
otherwise.
can't afford that battleship I needed 5 turns ago.
Yeah.
I'll save $5 more.
I'll save $5 more and commit what I would have spent on a bomber next turn to finishing off a battleship or stuff like that. So it makes you have to think ahead with your money. Like you can't just say, okay, I'm buying this now, and it's gonna do things. No, you buy it now, hope it does stuff, but also plan for what you're gonna do later with your money. Because if you spend all your money every turn, yes, that's a viable strategy, but it's like, well, if you're not planning long term, then you're just wasting your money.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just like the stuff I like about it, it's a well balanced game and everything like that. But, and it's like a puzzle though. And honestly, I think that's what I like about board games though, is that they're like puzzles. What about you guys? What do you guys look for in good board games?
Really just depends. I mean, like, I would say my favorite would probably be D&D. It's hard to find people that are committed to it though.
D&D is fun.
D&D is fun. It takes a long
It's just
time.
a lot of work, though.
It is a lot of work, but if you get a good session going and it's just a story will carry out, it's fun as hell. Other than like the one time where we all did a D&D session.
That was a disaster.
That was a disaster.
Oh, we did 2 D&D sessions.
We didn't
Well,
know
two
how
di-
to.
we didn't.
Disasters.
Yeah.
In fairness, I think that was all of ours except for Justin's first time playing D&D, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jason played. Too.
No, I think that was his first time too, right?
No, that was the first time I've
Really?
even attempted to
Oh,
DM.
damn. Then I was the only one that played it beforehand.
Yeah?
You played the game, yeah, you played, but it was your first time DMing.
Exactly. Like, that was my first time ever DMing. And when we played, before that, it was just when we played with Caleb.
True.
Even when we played with Caleb, though, that was a literal fuckfest.
He was so disappointed, like, purely because we just didn't care at all what he wanted to do. We were like, whatever.
Well, he
That's the
didn't
story of
explain it
DM,
well.
Though. Like you have like something you want to tell as like a DM, but the party won't go along with that the majority of the time. They'll just basically be like, "Fuck it, I want to do this instead." It's just like
I still
I set
remember
up
at
this
that
track
point.
for you to go here. No, I found this pretty lady. I want to seduce her and fuck her instead.
Yeah, I remember after about it took us an hour to whittle him down to just being like, okay, you want to do that really quick? Sure. And then he's just like, all right, you lost it. Now move on.
And you've teleported halfway across the world to where I want you to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, weren't we like in the tavern for like 2 hours of that campaign
Yes,
just trying to fuck
yes, we
people?
were.
And after a while, he just said, "You guys went to bed. Good night."
We were there for like 3 sessions. We just refused to leave.
Oh
And
my
the only
God.
thing that really got fucked was the table.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh no, and Ryan, because remember
Don't
we
say
were
that with
beating
no context. Just be like, oh yeah, Brian got fucked with a wood table too.
No,
Wait,
you didn't
which
get
time?
fucked
You
with
got
a wood
fucked
table.
That's a clip right there. That's a clip right
Ryan
there. Ryan got fucked with
the
a wood table.
I'm waiting to see a funny JPEG image that'll eventually show up by one of our fans that'll just make that, clip that, and put it into fan art
I
or
hope-
some shit.
Yeah, I
We're
hope.
gonna have to very hard elaborate on those sessions in order for that to happen. Because
Let's
Do we
just
want to go into
no.
it?
Let's just
Not right
let's
now.
just
No.
leave it to the imagination. Let's just wait and see what comes out of the woodwork.
we'll talk about it later down the line.
I'm
but
sure
I
it'll
guess,
come up.
Like right now, we just want to kind of go over just board games in general, not I guess hop too far deep into them yet.
Indeed.
Yeah,
We'll eventually have more on like. I
I'm
can
sure we could do like
completely
3
imagine
podcasts. on
us
D&D.
doing an entire podcast on just Axis and Ally strategies.
We really could.
Honestly. We could,
'Cause-
just explaining our last game that we had. We could probably go on.
We should
for
probably
time
just
to-
stream the next time we play it, or at least record it. You know, I think it'd be at
Yeah,
least
break it
interesting.
That'd be
down
one
into, like,
long
the
ass
best
stream.
bits.
Holy
No,
hell.
you
Oh,
just
God.
you cut it up a lot. Like I'd probably cut it up and stuff like
That means
that
a lot
instead.
of work for us, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
No, no. I was gonna say I'll do that if
You
you
know
guys
how many
want.
camera
That's a
angles
video,
we'd have to
man.
have? We'd have to have one on the dice rolling play, like where we roll dice and everything, and then we'd also have to have one on the main board so people.
Not
can see
even
both
that. Like,
perspectives.
honestly, all we have to do, we just have to keep a camera recording on the board and then move it over to the dice rolls and just move it back and forth. It's gonna be annoying, but
There is a reason
Let us
why.
know if you want to see this.
we're gonna do this eventually. But let us
Whether
know if
you want it
actually
or not,
want it.
yeah,
We'll determine if we do it faster or not.
yeah.
I doubt anyone else has ever actually watched Warhammer, people playing Warhammer.
No.
But there's a
forgot you
reason
play.
why when you film board games that have a lot of dice rolling, you have a second camera for that,
Mhm.
and it's because you need to go back and forth all the fucking time.
Well, and I know, like Axis and Allies, we're going to like 3 or 4 dice rolls a turn
Mhm.
sometimes. Because
Exactly.
Yeah.
everyone fights every turn, right? So,
Well,
Not every turn.
Depends.
Majority
But
of the
sometimes.
turns.
I mean, well, actually,
95% of the turns.
Actually, think about it. What we can do is we can do an elongated like Axis and Allies game, and we could just break it up into like episodes.
Well, yeah,
like,
that's-
20-30 minute
you
episodes.
could do like a
or
let's
something.
play.
well, I was thinking like you could do like each turn like a small episode and just cut it up, like heavily cut it up, which is
We'd have to really chicken ourselves though, because one turn could take a full episode. No, like one country's turn could take a full episode.
no.
It
I
took
think
us what, 2 hours to get to the first turn?
Like an
no.
hour.
It's first time we played. It took us
First-
3.
yeah.
Yeah, and that was the easy game.
That was the easy
Yeah.
one.
No, this last night, last time we played, I think it only took us an hour to get through the first turn, and then after that, it was like 30, 45 minutes, depending on how
Yeah.
much.
Because the first
I
time
started
it took
chickening,
a
it was
while
like
for us to get back
20
in the
minutes.
groove.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
we hadn't played the game in years.
Yeah, it was been a while because we've been really busy. I mean, until recently, we've all been scattered across the state. So
Yeah.
even now, we're still sort of are.
Justin was working the corner.
Not as much as we were.
Not
Wasn't
nearly
working
as
the
much.
corner. Well,
He was working all the corners.
Yep.
Yes.
got it right there.
He stole my strategy, so I had to go get a new one.
I stole
go to
his
school.
corner.
Exactly. I had to go to school, get a new strategy going.
Now he
Just
works the
kidding.
insides.
You know,
Anyways.
Justin's insides have been worked. It's okay.
Elaborate. Explain. Explain for the viewers at home.
I want to
And for
freeze frame
myself.
that right there.
It's okay. He's freeze framed it for us. All you need to do is just take a print screen. All right. Well, I guess moving to me, my favorite board game. Got to go with the classic chess.
Yeah, you like really got good at it too, right?
I'm shit at the game, but I mean, by comparison of I guess the people here, I'd say I'm pretty good. A few of them could give me a run for my money at times. Mostly you, but you refuse to play me since you beat me a few times.
So what happened is me and him spent a year where we both had the same chess app so we could go against each other. We went against each other like just dozens of times throughout that period. And I had like a 2 or something win streak, and that was all I needed to just run with it. And
Yeah.
after that, like, I'm done. Because he started actually getting tips from his dad.
Not even that. I started getting tips from his dad like later, but this was after that. This was like a year or two after that happened. Because I only like did like some chess like lessons or whatever from his dad for like a couple weeks. But this was like a year.
You
or so
started
down the road.
talking about gambits and shit, and I'm just like,
I already knew what gambits were. I just didn't know the names of them.
So for context, my dad is really freaking good at chess. He's not a grandmaster, but he got really close to it when he was in high school in chess club, and
Did he win state or something?
yeah, he
like
won
that?
state
Yeah.
when he was in high school. But he's not a grandmaster. But he for a while he was borderline, and so he'll just randomly look up chess strategies. So when Michael came over, asked me to play chess one time, my dad came and hovered over the game, and was like, you guys are fucking noobs, and basically took Michael under his wing because I didn't care enough to learn enough. I like whenever I was getting my ass kicked, I'd ask him, but you were the only one who was proactive in it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually gave him a run for his money or two on a couple boards, but like not much outside of that. Because me and him used to play like there was this online chess app, like so now they have it through iPhone games, but there was like an app for that way back when, and we used to play it. And I would give him a run for his money sometimes, maybe like 2 or 3 games out of like the 50 we played. But I mean, to me that was awesome because I'm playing against someone that's well above my level, and I'm just a snot-nosed punk who can move pieces intelligently.
You were pretty good. There were probably points where you probably could have entered tournaments and done okay. I mean, would you have won? Probably not.
No.
But
I mean,
would you have done good? Probably.
I love the game, and honestly, I could have pursued it a lot farther than I did, but I mostly like playing it for fun.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get competitive with it. Really, the only time I'll ever get competitive at playing chess is if I'm playing the person I'm playing against, because I want to win.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. Yeah.
that is the point.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, yeah.
No, I want to int the towers. That's what I want to do.
But
Yes.
Chess is such a beautiful game to me, purely because, like, kind of similar to Axis and Allies, there is no two identical games. It's almost theoretically impossible to have an identical game unless you're mimicking moves from a previous game.
Or going for the exact same gambit you go every single time.
Yeah, but even then, your opponent will learn from that. You know.
Yeah, but if you're playing different opponents, it doesn't matter if you go the exact same gambit if they don't know what you're doing. It's right. So it depends on your context. If you're a professional running the exact same gambit, it's very easy to counter you. But if you're playing a bunch of amateur people and you run the exact same gambit, and no one knows what you're doing, you're at a very big advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So it really just depends on where you're going.
Yeah.
I almost beat our. Do you remember there was like there was the teacher who was the head of the chess club.
Yes.
I
What about him?
narrowly lost to him.
Mr.
Yeah, I went in his classroom and I would just hang out sometimes because I had him as my math teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and I would sit there and I'd kind of just chill because I'd play chess sometimes, and I got to play him. I played him twice.
Mm-hmm.
First time I narrowly lost. Second time he checkmated me in 4 turns. And I was like, cool, and I never went again.
We're like, I can't show my face here.
Because like I could tell when he first beat me, or when he first beat me, and it was like, and I mean barely beat. Like I had him like 1 turn to mate, and he got the mate on me that turn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it was close. Like he decided to give up the mate because he knew I had 1 more turn than him to get mate, and so he just finished the game next
Right.
turn. Which, I mean, great for him, obviously, but he decided I wanted to play him again because I was like, oh, I got really close. I'm
Yeah.
pretty good.
You got
And
cocky.
then he decided to put me in my place. I was like, okay.
Like, okay.
And I was like, all right, well, this, because that was the only time I was considering, like, oh, I'll join the chess club and I'll do this, and this. And I was like, we're good. I was like,
I have
like
learned
chess,
that
but
I am not qualified for this position.
Yeah, I mean, if you get smacked down by an opponent much higher than you, and you're just like, this isn't really worth my time. Because like in high school, I mean, we're also doing football and stuff like
Right.
that, so we have much more. I can't spend that much time playing chess anyways, and also there's no one who wants to play chess with me anyways. So it's like, how am I supposed
That
to
was
get better?
the weird position that I feel like most of us had back in high school, is that like all of us were kind of we had brains and we wanted to play brainy things.
Mm-hmm.
But we were also in
But
football.
we were all in football, and we
Or at
all
least some
met
sort of
through
sport.
football or some sort of sport, if you would call it that.
Yeah, I was waiting for that comment.
We'll get to sports
Hey,
later, though.
we'll
Hey,
get to
he
that.
put it in his notes. He had to bring it up.
He did.
He did put it in his notes.
And because of that, like, it's kind of odd in some ways how those two things clash, despite it not really making sense on why one would have to be separate from the other. Like, inherently, sports are just strategic games performed by your body.
Right.
You are the board game.
Yes.
You are the pieces to the board game.
piece
You are
Yeah.
the rook
to
in
a
the
board
chessboard,
game
the
in
chess piece.
sports.
Basically.
I mean, football's basically just battles glorified in like 10-second spurts. If you really think about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure I've seen Roman strategy plans strewn about the same way an offense is written up.
Honestly,
Yeah, the Caesar went there and he was like, "All right, set hut, go along. Oh shoot, we got a touchdown in Persia. Let's go. We own it."
honestly, you can kind of relate chess to football in a sense.
Well, you could. I mean, that's why a lot of the ancient kings back in the days were like, you have to play chess in order to be like any good, like a decent king. Like that was a requirement.
Or at least a good general in the army.
Yeah, that's true. Like I forgot who it was. I think it was like a French king or something like that who said if you can't. No, it was the Turkish Sultan. I'm pretty sure said if you're not good at chess, you can't lead an army. So
That's
he
awesome.
would literally strip away titles from people if they couldn't beat certain people, a certain amount of people in chess, like certain qualified people or something like that.
And look what Turkey has done throughout history. Basically nothing. Anyways.
until they sucked. They were great as the Ottomans,
Problem
and then
number
they sucked.
one.
The Ottomans were quite terrifying.
That
Yeah.
they were.
They just don't get any light in history because they're Muslims. God, why did I say it like that?
Come on, Fernando.
I did not mean it that way.
Jeez.
I did not mean it that way.
Welcome back to the non-racist Introverts podcast.
I swear to God.
Well, we're talking about board games, I swear.
Cross my heart and hope to die.
At least we
Probably.
Thought, at least we thought so.
Anyways, moving on. Ryan, what's your
Right.
favorite board game?
It's weird for me, like talking about board games, because I did a lot of different board games when I was younger. Like Monopoly was one of them. I mean, Stratego for some reason was another one that I played a lot.
That game was fun though.
It was. That's another game where you challenge someone that's a little bit better than you, always fucking lose. Like I challenged my brother all the time,
Mm-hmm.
didn't beat him a single time, and same. And I did play chess with all my siblings at one point. They've all beaten me.
Yeah.
It's like they've all beaten me. I'm not very good at the game. I guess I don't really try to be either, but
It's a hard game to be good at.
a bit.
It
It's
kinda
also
is.
because like I
Yeah.
was learning the rules of chess when I played them, so I kind of didn't have the experience necessary to even try to beat them. But really, I didn't play a lot of board games like entirely. I just played them sparingly when I got the chance or whenever a board game was thrown in front of me.
I think out of all of us, you play the least amount of like board games, right?
I think Monopoly was the game that I probably played the most, though.
Yeah,
Would
so
be-
just standard capitalism, basically.
yeah, pretty much.
I feel like I played the least amount of board games.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then again, you didn't really start playing board games till you started hanging out with us, but you
No.
went full into them though.
Like the only board game that I was ever good at, and I played twice. Like I hated Monopoly when I played that game like 3 times. The only game I was really good at besides chess was Sorry, and I destroyed everyone very, very quickly in both games, and no one ever wanted to play again.
Mm.
One game that I will say was fun, and I've played it only twice, was a game called like Betrayal at the House on the Hill.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
That
game's
game
fun.
has
That game's fun.
massive replay potential. It is so fun.
Wasn't that the game you guys were playing that one New Year's Eve or something?
Yes.
Like
It's
Halloween.
basically like
right?
Scooby Doo.
No, it was New Year's Eve.
Isn't there?
that? Yeah, that's
Oh,
what it
it's
is.
It was at my brother's
basically
house.
like
Oh,
Scooby
yeah,
Doo
you're right.
in a board game.
Yeah, it's like what is it? 60 potential like different
I want
bosses,
that
and then you can like build your own landscape with that. Like it's a really fun game.
Yeah, it sounds like a cool
so
game.
if I ever got the chance to play that more, I would, because it's really fun.
Don't one of us have that game?
No, I think his brother has it. Oh, wait, no. Do you
I can go
have
yoink
that?
it from him.
I don't believe so.
Because you have like all the board games on the planet in your
I
closet.
have a lot of board games, but you got to remember, most of the board games in my house are at least somewhat Halloween themed.
That's true.
That is true.
Well, that's why I was asking, because isn't that game the Scooby-Doo like game?
Yeah.
Basically, but
It's like it's kind of like a solving a mystery and crap, and then
I guess
somebody
you could
just-
say that, yeah, because it's just like trying to find out.
I have
what the-
Eldritch Horror.
I guess trying to find out what the ghost you're playing against is, and then how to counter that. that
Oh,
ghost. Like, how-
So it's Phasmophobia.
sure,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I heard.
I might
gonna
like
say
that
same
game.
thing.
I've never played it, so we'll see.
I would have loved to play the
What's
game.
your favorite board game, Jason? Out of
So-
the many that you've played.
When I think about it, I think I have a favorite casual game, and then I have a favorite I'm ready to sit down for 15 hours straight game.
Explain.
So my favorite casual game is Exploding Kittens.
Yep.
Bro.
I thought it was gonna be Coop, honestly. Like Coop.
Yeah,
Coup is fun.
I thought you were gonna
It
bring
is a
that
lot
up,
of
dude.
fun. But Exploding Kittens is really fun, and I've
You're
had a
literally
lot of
gonna
fun playing you
use this
guys.
moment to lord over how good you are at the game, and
But
how
I
often you
almost
beat us.
always end up winning.
I
And
think
it's
this man,
bullshit.
like the chances of him winning is about 95%.
I think I
Like,
beat
it's-
him once. I think I beat him once.
I've only won Exploding Kittens once,
Mhm.
What if we did a exploding kid?
and I like 500
gameplay.
IQ'd your 500 IQ, and you
Bro.
did not expect me to ever do that.
Dude,
I
if
feel like
we-
that video would do better
I
than
ran
the
out
Access
of
Allies one. I'll be
cards.
honest.
Oh yeah, I think
I
exploding
ran
kids
out
would
of
do a lot better.
cards.
Well, because you're just screaming the entire time you're playing Exploding
No,
Kittens.
no.
That's why it'd be
Let
better.
me
Yeah.
have a different time.
No. I had two of a kind, and I got to, and we were like one or two cards left, and there was a bomb on top, right? And we knew there was a bomb on top. I had one diffuse. I used my cards and I stole your diffuse, so I had my life saved, and you didn't have a diffuse, and you had to take the bomb.
Yeah, that was one. That was one of the times.
Because you had like two cards left. You had a diffuse, and then you had a normal like card, and you couldn't do anything, and you're just like, okay.
Jason, explain Exploding Kittens, because
Yeah.
this is a good time.
So you take all the cats you can find.
Yeah.
He can't even finish it.
Stuff their ass with dynamite, light it, and go boom.
Okay, I can't even say that straight
Explosion!
face. So it's a card game. Everyone starts with a diffuse. There are exploding kittens in the deck. When it's your turn, you
What's an
draw a
exploding
card to
kitten?
end your turn. The reason you have a diffuse to diffuse an exploding kitten is because when you draw an exploding kitten, it goes boom. You can either diffuse it with a diffuse, or you basically lose and you exit the game.
It's just Russian roulette, but if Russian roulette was on crack.
It's a card
Yes.
game. It's a Russian roulette card game, except you have each player starts with a save.
And they all are hilarious looking cards with a bunch of
I-
fucked up, funny things.
I mean,
on
the
them.
whole thing has spawned a whole industry around. Like the company that made Exploding Kittens has like stupid amount of board games, right? They have like 20 board games out nowadays,
Oh yeah,
and they're all like
Everything from,
bangers.
like Unicorn.
No, I don't.
Unicorn
about
what? And we have not played that yet. Excuse me.
I've seen it. I honestly saw it and thought about getting it for you on your
Yeah.
birthday or
Are-
some shit like
Are
that.
you guys talking
Michael.
about Unstable Unicorns?
Unstable
Yes,
Unicorn.
Unstable
That's
I'm
not-
an unstable unicorn.
Yeah, I
Are you
know
sure?
are.
For sure. Yeah.
No. So
I
no. That's
promise.
a
That's
game.
your new
That game's
on
not.
Discord.
No.
Unstable Unicorns is not a game by the same company, but I have the
I'll
game.
make the change later.
I have the game, so we can play it if you guys want.
There's also
We'll do
one
that.
about water bears and shit.
Yeah, I know that one. There's like something about like don't get crabs or something like that.
What?
And like there's a game like don't be like quiet as a T-Rex or something like that. They have a whole bunch of like these.
hell?
Yeah, these or
Stupid as fuck.
like
but
babies versus
hilarious.
cats and bears versus some like I don't know zombies or whatever.
Can we start an agreement that at least one of the podcasts Michael needs to wear his unicorn onesie?
Yes.
I
It should have been
don't
this
have
one.
it
It's
anymore.
Halloween, motherfucker.
Whoa.
You got rid of it?
Yeah, dude, that thing was. I got fat. It didn't fit me anymore.
Damn.
Well, get him a new one.
Yeah.
The bottom thing was like riding up to here.
Where did that even come from? Was that from that one
I
trip
bought
to the
it at
cabin?
Target.
No, not the damn onesie. I meant calling you a unicorn. You started calling yourself a unicorn, right?
No.
How- where
I
the
have
fuck did
no
that start
idea
from?
how that spawned.
I can't remember how it spawned. I just remember Michael sitting there constantly going, "No."
Oh
Yeah, that's
oh,
what
wait,
it was.
no, I remember now. It was like the end of like near freshman year of college or some shit.
College?
I think it was
I
college.
thought it was high school.
Nope, it
No.
was senior year of high school.
No,
Are you sure?
Because that's how old the Photoshop job.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did.
Oh,
I
I guess we're gonna have
photoshopped
to
that
throw,
face onto a
brony.
It was a My Little Pony.
My Little Pony like brony looking ass motherfucker.
Don't worry, we're gonna throw it on here, and then you'll see it.
That's still the picture for our Discord server,
Yes.
isn't it?
Indeed.
Oh my
for a
God.
private Discord, of course.
No,
it
Or a
is.
there's
private
the
one.
There's the original one where
No,
it's
no,
just
no,
the
no,
My
no.
Little
There's
Pony
two where it's
one.
an actual My Little Pony, and then there's the one where it's like
Where it
the
was-
dude, the fabulous dude, like dressed
Yeah.
as like a pony, and then they photoshopped
That's
the
the
face over it.
Discord server one.
Gotcha.
That's the better one, I think.
That is the better one.
And
You
I
should put 'em
think
all
I
on there
did that
because-
because you were literally
No, we're only
going
doing
No.
the fabulous one.
every freaking time I saw you for like months.
Yeah, because you used to make fun of our football coach for it, right? Like, because you had the deep voice, and you're like, dude, I just want him to go nay every day. And so every time you saw us, you would do that. Wasn't that where that started?
Oh yeah. One of our coaches, he had a really deep voice. He talked like this, and he'd be like, "Hey, you go here and you do this and all this stuff." But
it was Coach right? Was it?
No.
No, wait.
hey, dipshit, we're not using names. We're gonna have to bleep that out. Thanks
We've
for
already,
making
we've
more
already
work for
used
us.
names like 4 times. Shut
We
the
have
fuck
used a
up.
bunch of names. We even
We're not using other people's names.
Yeah, we're not. Anyways.
Most of the names come from one person, because he forgets.
Like we tried to look
I
at someone
think
else.
I've avoided coach names.
No. We're not talking about coach names. We're just
About
talking
our
about ours,
names.
because that's the only ones we've used.
Yeah.
You already messed up.
I mean, I'm not the one who outed one of our teachers.
You made a no. Who? Oh no! I didn't even say the name.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, you
he
did.
said it first.
It was Fernando. Damn
Wait.
it. It was you.
You said it, and I was like, yeah, it's him.
Earlier.
Who?
Oh, well, don't worry, we'll bleep it.
Yeah, we'll
It's
bleep him.
okay.
I don't even
Anyways.
remember.
Or just do a quick second cut, jump cut.
We'll just do.
It's okay, Michael.
Y'all are making shit up. I
We'll,
swear to God.
we'll do it. We'll do it.
All right.
That's fine. It's annoying, but it's fine. We gotta work it out first. This one, I guess. Anyways, basically, back in the day, me and this guy in middle school, he had a deeper voice, and I was kind of when I was a prepubescent child.
No,
When I was going through puberty, my voice, was
Before
getting
we
to the
figured that out.
My voice was going to the deeper end, but this guy had already gone through it, and he already had his deep voice. I don't remember why. We had a neighing contest every day to see who was the top dog.
It was every day without fail. It was sitting like near the back of the bus, and it was like
Like
whoever
I
the most
said.
magical unicorn is right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I don't know why. And this dude, he was like a big dude, like not like
Well, he was
like-
bigger than most.
He was big, and he was like built like for a junior high kid. Like he was pretty mean. I was like, oh, but like, and I was one of those skinny kids too. So we would always compete every day. I mean, I never won, but I came close a few times. But that's where the neighing came from. And then he reminded me to do it later on, and that just kind of ran from there. I think.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're the My Little Brony.
No, we're not doing that.
He's like,
I refuse.
We
I'll
have
refuse that
contention for
nickname.
Discord titles. Ooh.
What was the one that I have to change my name to now?
Well, now I'm gonna have to go back because I don't even remember.
Unstable unicorn.
Unstable. Yeah.
All right. Well, I am now the unstable unicorn. Not with the old and with the unstable.
Anyways, Jason,
How is that new?
we kind of completely
It's
cut
not.
you off.
That's why it's funny.
What were you saying about your board game? I think it was your favorite like long term one.
Yeah.
So
that's where
the
he's at.
other one is, I really enjoy Eldritch Horror.
I don't think we've
I've
ever
never
played that.
it with you guys,
Yeah.
but it's significantly different from a lot of other games because it's a cooperative board game where you fight the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so everyone's on the same side.
Isn't that kind of like what is it? Pandemic?
Yeah. It's
In
the
a
same
way,
idea.
yeah. It's a cooperative board game. And most of the times I've played, I have lost horribly. Because it's always been a very difficult game. Because, you're fighting an old god. That is the
Right.
story, is you're fighting an old god. And half the time I'm just a random person.
Is it like a Cthulhu-based game, or
Yes, wait.
like?
Is it the same thing as like Arkham Horror? Because I've played Arkham Horror and it sounds basically like the exact same thing.
It's the same company.
Okay, then yeah, I know exactly what
It's
it is.
probably like a sequel
it's
game.
basically a how do I put it? It's the miniaturized, not miniaturized. Okay, so Arkham Horror,
It's like
that's the one with the big board, right?
it's the one with the big board. It's like the time setting is like
Eldritch
it's-
Horror is if you did each of those interactions that you do on that in that game in Arkham Horror. If you were to take each of those interactions and have those be the game,
oh god.
yeah.
And
So
Arkham
it-
Horror took forever.
Yeah. Fuck. Because and you go through a storyline like that. Okay. I'm going to preface this a little bit better for you guys because he understood what I said. But so in Arkham Horror, you have this giant board game.
Mm-hmm.
It's the map of, I want to say, Europe or something. Not extremely. No, not Europe. Of
It's like New York. or
New
something like-
York or
it-
something.
Yeah.
Just the city.
Not important. It's just of the city. It has not right.
It's like placed in the times where like mafias and stuff would be like
Like the
you-
20s and
you have,
30s
like,
and
you have
40s.
Yeah.
Tommy guns as like one of the weapons you can use or something like that. You just depends on
You
what-
and I believe up to 4 or 5 others, something like that, are all different people. You'll have different abilities and stats and whatnot,
Right.
and your entire goal is you have to investigate, find out the cult, and then basically stop the cult from succeeding. More often than not is what you end up trying to do in order to keep them from summoning
An ancient
Yabba Dabba the goat god.
Or Cthulhu is one of the bosses in those, so you could actually literally fight Cthulhu.
Eldritch
Big
Horror.
slippery daddy Cthulhu.
Yeah, big thick tentacle
Oh.
daddy Cthulhu.
Yes.
When you're in Arkham Horror, you go from town to town and whatnot, investigating and grabbing clues and shit, in order to go and then you like gather up your clues and you're like, and then you go and fight and stop the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
And Eldritch Horror, it's almost exclusively those investigations, but put into a board game form. So instead of like the game being a wider map thing, it's you go to this mansion, and you and all of you are there.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the mansion, you set up the board, and you as you investigate the board, you have a thing that tells you it's an app that tells you what pieces to pull out as you see more and what actions you take. And in that one, you can go insane and whatnot. In both of them, your stats are like you have health and then you have sanity. As you lose both, you start dying.
If you hit 0 on either health or sanity, you die.
You hit 0 in health, you get an injury. Then if you go back down to 0 again, you're dead. If you lose 0 in sanity, it's worse because now you're insane.
Yeah, this just sounds like Phasmophobia, but
It's
HP
crazy.
Lovecraft version.
And if you go insane, there's a chance that you don't stay on the same side no more. In Eldritch Horror, I've killed my mother 3 or so times.
I'm gonna take
Because
that out of
Yabba
context.
Dabba, the goat god, had me required to just lure her off alone and then stab her for the goat god.
Nice.
That instantly ends the game and means I win,
Nice.
which was nice for me in the way.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah,
you're just
Because
like,
Yabba Dabba, the goat god, gave me the big protection and whatnot.
it's like, I win the game and I gotta take out some aggression on my mom.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Wait, so does Eldritch Horror have the same
I
thing?
have the worst lines tonight. I swear to God, I'm
You
sorry.
have no idea how mad I made her the last time I killed her for the goat god, because it got to the point where she knows she shouldn't trust me when I'm insane,
Uh-huh.
because it just seems to be the one I get.
Uh-huh.
She didn't have a choice.
What do you mean?
She this scenario called for like a door to get locked, and so she was locked in a room with me as I was carrying a dagger, and that's all. That's the entire requirement to get Yabba Dabba the Goat God in the game to end is I literally have to be carrying a sharp implement, and I have to be alone with another survivor.
Oh yeah, so it's not hard to do it.
Game over.
Game instantly over. I win.
Yeah, there you go.
Because that's all it takes to accelerate the doom clock, which means Jabba, whatever thing we were stopping, succeeds.
Does it have dimensions in there like Arkham Horror does?
Don't remember.
Because Arkham Horror has a whole implement where you get thrown into another dimension if you get set into a bad encounter or something like that.
It just sounds like this Eldritch Horror one is just the like the micro parts of art. Like I'm sure you could probably put them together almost, and it'd be interesting like multi-week campaign.
Well, the Arkham Horror has an actual like story and whatnot.
Oh.
So Arkham Horror has one story. Eldritch Horror follows scenario stories that have already like been pre-made, and hence why you can just follow an app.
Oh yeah.
So you just tell it, okay, I went over. I can see these areas now, and then it tells you what pieces to pull out so that you can continue on the scenario.
It's just like D&D, but if the DM was your phone. Yeah. That sounds pretty cool though.
There was one time where the goat spawn of Executive couldn't understand that last part.
Exodia.
Who knows?
This isn't
But-
Yu-Gi-Oh.
But
Yu-Gi-Oh's my
you
favorite
remember
board game.
Overlord?
No.
Yeah,
that's
or
not
the
it.
anime.
Remember when he turned all of the legions of armies into the giant?
Shadow Ghost.
I did
Shadow
not get that
Goats?
far.
That's like season 3. That's
Yeah, I only got to like season 2.
Is this the board game
It looked
podcast or
like
the
that.
anime podcast?
I mean, why not book in all those?
No. That's like a whole 5-episode train right there.
Well, that is fair. I
We'll
mean, I'm
get
sure we'll
into-
talk
we'll
about
get into
anime a
anime at
lot.
some point.
Yeah.
We will. I'm saving it because I know
promise.
that once we get to that, we might not stop.
I'm sure that once we get there, like once we make it or something like that, this
It's gonna
podcast will be an anime podcast, not
Dude,
anything
Very
else.
much.
Oh yeah.
We want to get everything out of the system
We
first
could
before
literally
no one
have a
ever watches
discussion
again.
about a specific show for an hour.
That's what we did at lunch. Was just
Really
screaming.
could.
Yo, okay though. So actually though, so I was just at because today's Halloween. So I was just at a Halloween party for my family, and my cousin's boyfriend brought his sister, who apparently went to the same school, went to our school, and we'll bleep that out. Sorry. And then is the same year as us, and she's like, "You look familiar. Where did I know you from somewhere?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, I went to this.
a lot at once.
Yeah, I went to school, and we were standing in the middle of the court. She's like, "Oh, you're that guy."
Another one?
Yes.
What is
I'm that guy.
happening?
Apparently, we were popular.
We didn't even know.
Everyone knew us. We didn't know anyone else.
Yeah, basically. One-sided popularity.
Yeah.
Truly. I think that's what that's called infamous. I think.
Payday 2?
No,
Notorious.
I think Infamous is what Bill Cosby is.
Whoa.
I would rather not be compared to that.
Exactly my
No, I'm
point.
gonna
Why I'm
flash
saying.
definitions of those the words I just used, and it's going to be totally false.
We'll see. Justin, what are your favorite board games or game?
I thought we went over that. He said it
Or
was
at least
D&D.
Pretty much was basically just D&D.
All right,
If you
cool.
wanted
Never
to go
mind.
for-
We don't have to go back into it.
If you wanted to go for like a
Next topic.
Well, yeah, but like,
Do we want to talk more about D&D?
Well, I was-
What's...
no, I wasn't gonna talk about D&D stories. I was just gonna ask you guys if you would ever be, because like I wanted to for a long time. Like after because like, yes.
Oh, how about that?
candy.
So welcome to my mother's basement.
On the next episode of Mother's Basement.
Candy time. Sorry for the candy time inspiration. Actually, we were just talking about Candyland. You know, more candy equals more smiles. Halloween.
I never played Candyland though.
You never played Candyland?
I've never played
What the
Candyland.
hell?
I see it on every board game shelf on every like
Honestly,
everyone.
Candyland overrated as fuck.
It is
Is it
overrated.
really?
But you like, gotta play it at least once.
I just find
It is overrated.
It's not even that fun. It's literally roll dice, advance, get card.
It's not even roll
maybe-
dice. You draw a card. And
You draw a
move up
card and hope
space.
the color is good.
You move up to the next color of
okay,
that thing. If you
Fernando,
get
it's-
fucked up by a bridge to make it go back, you're like, ah, shit. Or
Yeah, it's literally just okay. You have a deck of cards. The card either has a blue number or a red number. Blue number means you go X amount of spaces. Red number means you don't. And sometimes, if
Michael's got it
if
fucked.
you
no, you got it fucked. It's not. There's no number. It's just a color, or like there'll be two of the same color, and then you go that number of spaces.
if you can tell, it's been years since I played this game. Probably since I was like 4 years old, which was well over a decade ago.
Justin played it last night with himself.
Or you can get
Oh,
sent to
probably.
Gumdrop Forest.
okay.
It's okay. It's not stupid, but like it's a really not well thought out board game.
There's a reason it's for really small children.
It's a child's board game. I don't even understand it. It's that simple.
You know, I don't know. I just feel like that it
You're
was
not missing anything.
Yeah, no, but like board games, like when we were younger, like before we were in high school, I think board games were just shit.
yeah.
I wouldn't even say that. They were more just like daunting, and you didn't know where to look for outside of Candyland and Monopoly. You're just like,
Well,
if
that's
this is
my
all we
point.
got, then this sucks.
It's like board games weren't mainstream. Like all the board games I played when I was little actually were my father's board games. Like I played Titan and Diplomacy and Axis and Allies, right? These are all old ass fucking board games, right?
I picked up chess on my own. Like I had
Well,
no one introduce it to me.
Like chess is its own thing. But Mom, we're filming the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pizza time.
Because we are Italian.
Well, I am. But
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Apparently, we're also getting Fernando off.
No.
Oh yeah.
I feel like darkness when they call her La Latina. I'm just like, fuck.
hello, darkness, my old friend.
Anyways,
Not licensed for that song.
That's why I only did a small sound clip.
have Italian.
That's enough.
Yeah, that is enough actually.
Nowadays, it's
Fuck.
enough.
anything's enough. Well, then again, hopefully we'll just be small enough that it won't go through the radar and we won't get
Most-
a channel insta-banned.
I'm gonna say yeah because there's no way that after what 1 or 2 episodes of this shit we're gonna just blow up. It's not happening.
I mean, Justin's rendition was so pitchy that probably won't even recognize the song anyway.
Thanks.
That's actually a good thing if you think about it.
Fuck
good
off.
one, Justin.
Suck my cock.
He would if you had one.
What?
Said he would if he had one.
Last time I checked.
I don't see it.
All right, moving on.
kidding.
What's next?
Okay. Gambling.
Yes.
Oh fuck.
Gambling. Fuck yes.
In moderation. In moderation.
In
Gambling-
moderation.
Yes.
I
only
love
in
gambling, but
moderation.
gambling is good in moderation.
I
Don't
can
go
only
extreme.
gamble. I can only gamble if I go to Vegas. That's it. And it won't. I can't deal with it for
I
long.
refuse to go to Vegas. I will I'll go at some point,
I want
but
to do a
I
Vegas
just
trip.
don't want to gamble in Vegas. I don't care.
Why not?
Dude.
Why would I?
It's fun.
I mean, like, I'm kind of with you in some aspect of it. I'd much rather go and sit down and grab a bucket of popcorn and watch all the high people stumble into each other.
It's the same reason.
Are you sure
Why-
you wouldn't be one of the high people?
Well, I'm not saying I wouldn't be.
Well, look, Fernando.
I just said I want to watch them too.
it's the same reason why I would rather do a kickback with you guys than go out to a club with just like myself or 1 or 2 other people.
Well, you know, you don't ever go to the club by yourself. You gotta go with friends.
Well, I know, but like that's the thing I'm saying is that I feel more confident and I have more fun losing my money to my friends where we can have fun and mess around with it than I do losing a lot of money to, you know,
The casino.
the casino.
I feel like gambling at the casino would be like I've never been, but what I always pictured it would be is just like, yeah, man, lose your money.
Well, they also feed you drinks and they kick you out if
Exact-
you're not drinking enough.
Exactly my point, though. It's just like it's a place where you know you're gonna lose money. It's the experience,
Actually,
not the money. You know what I mean?
that's completely wrong. When I went, me and Ryan went to Vegas. I didn't have a drink at a couple of the tables, and they didn't kick us out.
That's odd.
Well, we also
Then,
didn't
then again, I also was getting watched over at a blackjack table because I was
That-
making
yeah.
too much money.
Yeah, so they'll either send someone to watch you or they just feed you drinks, but it really depends on the casino. Because they typically their policy is to feed you drinks, so that way you're not winning a lot. because the casinos don't like you winning
Well, yeah, it's not
that much.
it's
It's their
money.
job to take your money, not your job to take money from them.
Mhm.
So they try to do what they can to not let you win.
Yeah, but and I get that, but like my thing is just like I'm not gonna go to Vegas to try and win money. I'm gonna go just to shit around with you guys. You know what I mean?
Like,
That's true, but like my thing is that I have a semi-addictive personality, so I know if I get angry enough or I get annoyed enough, I'm pulling out money that I should not be spending. That's mostly my fear. Is like if I lose money, I'm gonna get annoyed and want to get my money back.
Here's
That's my problem.
Here's my theory for Vegas, or at least how I went. When I went with Ryan, my debit card was not even in the state. I didn't even take my debit card. I took cash, and that's all I was willing to spend.
That's
the
probably the
entire
way
time.
to do it.
That is literally all I was willing to spend for the entire time, and I had an extra 100 set off in case of something something happened, like an emergency or something like that.
Yeah.
I had that extra money, so I could not spend anymore while I was there. And it's not like I want to go.
That's kind of risky though to leave your card outside of the state, though. You know.
I mean, you got Apple Pay nowadays if you really need to, but like
That's
it
true.
it makes it takes away a lot of the temptation.
It
That-
does.
that's
It
true.
really does. Because like you can't use Apple Pay at like a nicer restaurant down in Vegas. I mean, like to be honest, you're paying in cash or with the debit card down in Vegas majority of the time.
That's
Yeah.
true. If you're
I-
using
they
Apple
don't
Pay,
use-
you're
they
going to
don't-
McDonald's
They don't-
exclusively.
Yeah, pretty much. And you're eating somewhere shit.
Mhm.
Or
I'm just too afraid to carry cash on me anymore. Like,
see,
I just don't like it.
I like cash.
I love cash.
I love having cash. It's it's a physical representation of how much I have.
That's
Or,
true.
dude, literally, I can
Well,
sit
no
there.
shit. That's what cash
Damn.
is.
No shit.
Thank you for giving us
This-
the
this-
definition
No
of
shit.
money.
This
But
mu-
this is the reason I like it, because I can see it as it slowly whittles down, and I'm like, oh shit. But when I was in Vegas, and you're sitting there, and you can just sit there and play, you got to have the mindset of, I'm probably losing all of this.
Well, yeah.
And if you win it back, that's fun. And you just play. You got to live with that mindset that you're playing to just.
Well, yeah, and
play.
obviously you're gonna bet. Like whenever you make a bet in any game, like monetary wise, you're betting. You're assuming the money you bet is lost. Or at least that's the way you have to play. Because otherwise, everyone just goes all in for free, and it's like they don't care.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't trust myself, and that's pretty much it.
That's
Because I know I'm gonna drink.
I
when
mean,
I'm
that
there.
is
Yeah.
fair.
And I don't
I
trust
can
myself.
understand that.
I'm a pretty decent drunk. I know what I'm doing a lot of the times. Obviously, there are times when I go overboard. That is not the case, as we've seen before.
yeah.
I mean, video games,
But like,
from us playing with you in video games, I can tell you for sure, when you get irritated, you put your foot down, you do not stop.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
you're all go on the gas.
I know that about myself, and that's why I'm very afraid to gamble in Vegas, because I know I'm gonna lose a shit ton of money and regret it later.
You don't have to bring a shit ton of money.
I know I don't have to bring a shit ton of money, Justin. I just know that I'm gonna want to bring a shit.
Well, would you rather just go and just watch people like? Because that's what I would do. You know, like
I
I wouldn't
wanna-
mind gambling,
Look,
but
people watching, I would love to do that because that's gonna be hilarious. But if I'm gonna go to Vegas, I'm gonna gamble.
right.
It's simple as that. The problem is I just don't trust myself to do it.
Well, okay, that's fair.
That's why I honestly say let's go as a group, like the 5 of us.
Look, if we go as a group, I'll go. But like, if we're going one or two of us, no shot.
Well,
You're only going with like a crowd of people.
Yeah.
when me and
That's
Ryan
fair.
went, we,
That's what I would do.
Because
Too.
if it's all 5 of us, there's a good chance that we could actually pull you away from that fucking table.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also at the same time, the reason I have no like desire to go to Vegas is why would I go to Vegas? There's really nothing for me there outside of gambling.
It's just the experience. You know what I
It is
mean?
an experience. You gotta. I mean,
I just-
Well,
honestly.
yeah, because that's what you went there for,
went
right?
For
And
I went for
you
my
too?
21st
See,
birthday,
like-
and I lost like $500 in the first trip that I went to. The second time I went with, it was me and Ryan. We went for a friend's birthday, and I left with 1,500 extra.
Yeah, but I'm
It's-
just not really interested in Vegas. Like, if we want to go like together, I'm down to go because that'd be fun.
It would be. I wanted. To
I
do a
just
trip like
don't
that.
really care to experience
that's fair.
Vegas. Right?
That's
Like,
fair.
You know what I mean? It's just not one of those things I would do, unless I did it with you guys, kind of
Yeah.
thing. And even then, I'd go kicking and screaming probably, and then end up enjoying myself a lot. Be like, we gotta go again.
Yeah,
There's a lot-
probably.
there's a lot
That's
more to-
exactly how that would go.
There's like a whole lot more to do in Vegas than just sitting at a casino the majority of the time. Like,
I know, but like, do you think I did any of the research because I care to go? and
no,
do
I
that?
know, but like, there's a bunch of clubs that we could go down. Not even. They're not necessarily clubs.
There's
Like,
just a
there's-
bunch of sightseeing to do in
there was
Vegas.
literally a place where we went
Esports
to
arena.
while me and Ryan were down there. That was like basically an outdoor hangout spot. Like there was beer pong out there. There was like literally they had like trash can beer pong where you used volleyballs and threw them into.
They had
into
the
trash
gold
cans.
spike.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
there
that's a
was
good spot.
yeah. There was also like there was like life-size chess or
Oh, I love it.
literally there was cornhole where you can sit there and throw like bean bags and stuff like that. Like there was a bunch of just outdoor games and it had a bar outside.
I will say this for Vegas, especially like minus the gambling thing, you cannot walk around in any other state with just a beer in your hand.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's just the one place you
There's
can walk
nowhere
around drunk in public.
anywhere.
You could walk
you
I'm
around
doing it wrong.
anywhere
Well,
on the
yeah.
strip with a beer in your hand and then no one's gonna question you
Exactly.
at all.
What is it? I was carrying around an Angry Orchard from casino to casino, basically.
Yeah, we'll
Like,
walk
it
around
was-
with full-on bottles in our hands, like glass bottles, and people don't give a shit.
Just-
walk
they're
right
just
by
invading
cops. Cops
crimes
aren't
here.
caring, but that's just because it's legal there.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, you get to walk out, have a fun
They're
day
more
with the
surprised
guys.
you aren't holding a blunt in the other hand.
What's wrong with this guy? He's not doing it right.
Yo, okay, so like my girlfriend went to Vegas recently, right? And her mom and grandma were like, "Why the fuck does it smell like weed everywhere?" And my girlfriend was just looking at him like, "You know this is Vegas, right? You're the guys who wanted to come here. Like people are gonna be doing shit."
Majority cigar smoke or cigarette smoke.
Something, yeah.
That's also another reason why I don't want to go.
No, of course,
I'm
yeah.
very asthmatic. I can't handle that shit.
If you go in the newer casinos, they're a lot better on that.
Yeah.
It's
Still, I'm
majority
gonna have
of
to
the
carry my puffer everywhere I go, and I'm gonna have to puff like as frequently as there are people smoking.
there are some of the new casinos that are down there that don't even allow you to smoke inside at a table.
That's what I've heard, at least.
The older
We'll
casino,
have to
like
see,
like at the
'cause-
like if you go down to the old strip, they don't give a shit. You could sit there and you can smoke all you want while you're down there. The tables are also cheaper down there because they're older buildings. Like they're cheaper to play down there. Like we were playing what $15 blackjack.
That's too much for
Yeah.
blackjack.
I mean, at the new strip,
I will agree
it was
with
like
you.
$25 a hand for blackjack. Or there was
That's
one
too
where-
much for
there was one that
blackjack.
me and our buddy. Went
I'm gonna
and sat
stand.
down
I'm
and
gonna
it was
stand and die.
50
I'm gonna
a hand.
stand and die on this hill proudly. That's too much for blackjack.
I mean, what I was playing.
My parents went to Vegas and that shit was. They had tables that were like $5 a hand. I still think that's too. Well, actually, no. That's pretty fair.
I was gonna
for
say that's
blackjack.
pretty
You would-
reasonable.
you
Five,
would
were you about to say $5 is
Five
too
to ten-
much?
Look. Okay, listen. They
He
need
would
to
shit
have like
himself if he figured
more
out how much I was playing
beginner-friendly
hand while I was down
tables.
there.
Look, they need to have more beginner-friendly tables. I don't consider $25 for a fucking hand beginner-friendly.
I
You
would
would-
say the
you would
old strip
shit
is fine.
yourself.
You would shit yourself if you found out how much I played a couple hands.
You
I
told me. and I thought you were
$200 per
stupid.
hand. Yeah.
Well, okay, listen. If you're running hot, of course you're gonna get cocky and bet more. Like that's fine.
I
Go
was
ahead.
triple my money. So I'm like, fuck it.
Do your thing, man. I mean, I probably wouldn't do that, but if you want to do that, go right ahead. I just don't think, as for me personally, I don't feel comfortable playing $25 a fucking hand for a pair of cards. I'll probably fold because I never get good cards ever.
I'm not gonna lie, regardless of if my cards are good. If I'm playing $25 a hand and I lose twice, that's my life savings, man. I don't have any way to exist for another 2 weeks.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking got that kind of money.
Bro, the broke college kid is a real struggle, dude.
Never really heard
You're
your side of
telling
the
me I'm
gambling
almost
arena,
broke all
Jason.
the time.
I think it's funny. You said one word, and the rest of us just went in on it.
Tangent. We went
Yeah.
straight into it.
Fucking went ape shit, and I'm just like, this is exactly how I expected.
I'm gonna take a nap.
It is all gone according
All right,
to my
Jason, what's your
design.
opinions on the topic?
It's very simple. Just gamble, make all the money. Just throw it all at 'em.
Just don't go if you're not gonna win.
But if you think you're gonna lose, just don't.
So hold on.
I
So
feel like
we're-
we just asked a stoner about that question.
So we're talking about like casino gambling and stuff like that, like, and well, this falls along the same lines as gambling, but they just legalized it here, sports betting.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
Finally,
I want to go sit down at a sports book.
You
I've
mean
already-
finally we don't only get jockey races?
I've already
Yeah.
done some sports betting.
I mean,
and
How'd
stuff
that go
like
for you?
I haven't.
I've lost every single time.
I haven't.
Okay, in my defense though, I bet on like some underdogs where like I was like guaranteed like double my money or more.
Well,
So
that's
yeah,
what you gotta do. Sometimes you
I don't
get
know.
the
I felt
odds and you
like for
you're
some of the
"Oh, fuck
UFC
it."
fights that I was betting on, yeah, like I was having fun. Just like, all right, I hope. Okay, I bet on one guy who I was like, I hope he wins. I know he's the underdog, but I hope he wins. For Christ's sake.
So wait, you've been betting on UFC fights?
Yeah, mainly.
Yeah.
And I still have some free bets still. So
you
you
still
know.
have bets lying around out
I
there?
do, and I'm probably gonna use those this coming up weekend, which is UFC 268.
Let me know when Poirier and McGregor fight again, because I'm gonna bet on everything on Poirier, because I just want to see McGregor lose.
Well, I mean, he's gonna
it
McGregor will
was-
be the underdog. I hope you realize.
I don't give a shit. I just want McGregor to
Poirier's
lose.
Poirier's won twice now.
I know, but I don't like McGregor. He's a little cry bitch boy. I mean, he's good at he's good at his job, undeniably, but that makes me hate him even more.
That just shows how good at his job he is.
Exactly my point. He's a talented person. He's great at his job, and I'm sure he'll wipe my ass cheeks across the floor just for shits and giggles of it.
He will.
But I still want him to lose.
See, that just reminds me about the whole fact of like every time I go to watch UFC, somebody loses a leg.
Yeah, I'm bringing you with
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
to watch that fight, so he loses
No,
his leg
because
again.
normally it's the one who's winning.
Yeah.
McGregor wasn't winning
It
that
was
fight
It was
though.
the favorites that Jason was
Yeah,
watching that ended up
Whenever
losing their legs.
whenever I
It was
watch, it's the
straight up just-
favorite that loses their leg.
Was McGregor favorite that night when his leg snapped?
I think for a while it was Pick'em, but I think by the end of it, I think Poirier was the favorite.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I thought. I thought
Uriah
Poirier was
Hall
favorite.
versus Weidman. Weidman was the favorite, and yeah, his leg.
his leg.
Bye-bye.
went bad.
His leg.
Yeah.
Just watched him get
So
kicked
it's
right
just
in the
weird. I don't know what to explain it, but
watch the thing go-
I make UFC fighters lose their legs. That's why I don't watch it. Totally not because I forget that they exist.
I mean, it's kind of funny to watch. I mean, not funny to watch, but it's kind of like you're
It's
just like,
funny.
holy crap.
I'm not gonna lie.
It sucks for them, but it's funny as a viewer.
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh
like-
shit, we
it's
called
like-
it.
This
Yeah.
man's leg just broke like a toothpick.
So, some random guy, him, bets like $500 on the favorite's legs breaking, and he wins the payout.
Oh my god.
It's like a 400 to 1.
Jason's gotta
odd
do
to
it.
win.
Jason, we just
Jason,
found a
there
way
is
for you to make
there is a
income money.
betting line to win based on injury or TKO or some bullshit like that.
Oh, he would make a fortune.
If I did it and it turns out the curse is true, that would be. I need to know the multiplier.
I think from the last time I saw like via injury or doctor stoppage, it's around plus 4,000.
Holy shit.
4,000 times or percent?
Like I don't know. I just see plus 4,000. I don't know how it works
Times
exactly.
or percent, that's the same thing.
No.
When it comes to the betting wise.
Four
So,
thousand
that's
percent is
plus
only
or
40%.
minus
I think
two
that's. I think that
zeros.
means 400%.
But it depends on how much you bet too.
That's true.
But
Okay,
that's
that
just
means
last
2
time.
zeros or not.
That means you could put $100 down
1,000
and you'd get 4,000.
being multiplied or percentage.
Multiply.
Oh yeah, if you put 1,000 down, you get 4,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I never explained my shit on gambling. Really, I said I was talking about the minus gambling going to Vegas for that experience. But,
yeah, I wanted
I mean,
to hear
for
about
me-
your experience.
Well, yeah, because when I went, Justin, it was my first time going and gambling. I've done like CS:GO gambling and shit like that before. I feel like that's just
doesn't count.
it's fake.
It
No,
does.
it's
It
fake
does.
money.
I mean, it kind of counts.
spent
but
It's
money
just
on-
gotcha, isn't it?
It's kind of gotcha, but I think it's also rigged.
No, but like
I-
that's
I
my
spend
preferred form
money
of
on-
gambling is like gotcha for like Konosuba characters, and that's about all I do for
Well,
gambling.
I made money off of CS:GO gambling. I went from $50 to 300, and then kept at that 300 for quite a while, and then went back down.
I spent money on
That dog loves
CS:GO
you.
loot crates. I'm a professional gambler.
Welcome
I
to
got
the Doggo
I got
podcast.
one knife and 3,000 cases. I'm so good.
No, but I guess my thing was, I walked into that. I took 250. I'm like, okay, this 250 is already gone. Like I don't use that for anything else other than gambling, and it's gone. There's nothing there, in my opinion. So whenever I'm putting money down to get chips or some shit, that money's
the money
out.
doesn't exist anymore, right?
the money's just like, hey, I'm playing a game now.
the money's like
That's really it. Yeah. The first 2 days, I lost almost all my money, and then I lost Justin's 100.
Yeah, I gave. Okay, well, actually, I was technically up about 1,800 because I gave 100 to Ryan to keep playing. I gave 100 to the birthday boy who
Quadrupled his money.
who quadrupled it. I gave him 100. We sat down at blackjack. He left with 400.
Nice.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, this is what happens. You sit down at a table. I tell you how to do it. And you win.
You're like, you're a solid investment. You're welcome.
And then I gave one to another friend that we had that was over there, and he lost it all really quickly. But
Oh, that would be me, 100%.
But no, after a while, like I just, what is it? We went to the Golden Spike and got pretty drunk. Like I was tipsy walking up to the tables, and I was just like, that's, if anything, that's the way I like to play now. Is just walking up to the table like tipsy or just like feeling some type of way
you just
because
don't have a crap.
you just feel better.
You just don't.
You
have
feel
the
better
credit.
about losing a bit of money. Like, it's fine. But I managed to gain, what is it, $100 that night,
Yeah.
and then won a little more the next day. So
We sat down at Paris, and I think you won like another 180 or something like that.
I won around 150.
So what did you walk out with, Ryan? Did you walk out plus or minus?
I walked out. What is it? I got in with 250. I walked out with 430.
Fuck, dude, you
Nice.
doubled your money?
Almost.
A little less than double.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, a little less than double.
Dude,
But
not many people actually come out of Vegas positive.
I know, and that's
or
why I was happy.
Even.
Yeah.
even.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'll be happy if I go into Vegas. I'll be happy coming out with 50% of the money I came in with.
My favorite
That's
game
fine.
in Vegas was my least winning game in Vegas, which was Pai Gow, which is the most easy, even odds game in the house.
It's also an old people game.
It is, but it's the most even odds game in the house. I mean, if you want to have the best chance at winning it, and like having a slow, steady game where you just constantly get drinks, that's the best game to do it with. But my most positive game and the thing that I won the majority of my money on was 3-card poker and blackjack.
I love
Like-
3-card poker too much.
I-
Hold on.
I've
Is
actually
it
never played
Hold'em
it.
or is it just 3-card?
They have Hold'em,
Okay.
but I wouldn't sit down at those tables because when you're playing in Vegas, you are playing against other players.
Yeah.
And you will have
Well,
some
obviously.
motherfucker who comes in with 10 grand and will throw that down just to get all your money out of you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I can't really do anything against that. So I'd rather play 3-card where it's
Just
you
draw
against,
the pocket aces. Be like, thanks, bitch.
Well, it's you against the house. So like
Well, yeah.
in 3-card poker, so like, I mean everything sits as normal. So like a flush is 3 of the same suit.
Right. Yeah.
or, like,
no, I know what
yeah,
3-card
so
poker
it's-
is.
Yeah, unless
Same
you can
thing.
afford
If you
10,000 in game, you should only be playing against the house.
Yeah, and it's like sitting there and like you sit there and you get a pair in 3-card poker, you're sitting pretty freaking nice.
Yeah.
Like and not to mention they have to get at least a queen or higher to qualify for that hand. If they don't get a queen or higher, it's a push and you just do another hand again,
Mhm.
which could suck
Yeah.
because let's say you get dealt an absolute bombshell of a hand
Mm-hmm.
and they don't get a queen or higher. You at least still get the bonuses for it if you do play bonuses. Because when I was playing bonuses, you got so there was 4 different bonuses you got paid on. I had $10 on each,
Mhm.
and the bonuses for having a monster hand against them, I didn't get paid on my hand, which was the part I didn't care about. I got all my money from the bonuses, so
Mhm.
like I made like $300 off of just the bonuses.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good deal, though.
Yeah, I mean,
You good over there?
No,
don't die on us, Fernando.
Breathe.
I like have to burp and cough at the same time, and it's like conflicting. They're like, which one do you want to open, your esophagus or your throat?
Yes.
Both.
Yes,
Just
¿Por qué
yes.
no los dos?
exactly.
Remember, we
exactly.
got to pass through that little swingy thing in the back of your throat.
That
I-
swinging
Yeah,
thing.
baby.
I would like to
Yeah.
take a boys trip to Vegas because I feel like that'd
It
be
would
a
be fun.
I'm down.
It would be
That's-
fun.
We
That
gotta-
I
is
would
just-
also love
that's
to
just an
see whether or
experience
not they
altogether.
can get me drunk.
minus the gambling, whatever
We don't even
bullshit.
have to spend a lot of time in a casino. Just literally just go to you can sit down in the casinos. They got freaking great restaurants in the casinos and stuff. Like we went to Dick's.
I want to go there
We
so
went to
bad.
Dick's in Vegas.
We had
It
a great
was
time.
Hilarious.
We had a
Oh
great
God,
time.
heart attack grill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We
didn't go there.
Fuck, we did not get to go there.
I'm not gonna
I
lie. I
would
think if we
actually
go to
have a heart
Vegas,
attack.
if we go to Vegas, we're probably just going to restaurant tour and shit
Wait,
like that.
probably.
Honestly,
love to, yeah.
Fair.
I'm 100% down for that because then I can.
wanna go
I wouldn't really want to gamble as much in Vegas.
I want to go sit
I'm
down at
gamble
a
Gordon
little bit,
Ramsay
but not
steak. I want to
Yeah.
go sit down at Gordon Ramsay.
Isn't it hard to? No, it's actually pretty easy to get in there.
It's easy to get in there if it's not a weekend. If it's not a weekend, I mean,
We'd
like,
have to go during a week. 'Cause I
we
don't wanna
went.
go during-
We tried to get in on a weekend. When we tried to get into there, it was like a 3 or 4 hour wait for us to try to get into Gordon Ramsay steak.
Fuck.
Not to mention, it was like I think it was like a 1 ounce wagyu like cut.
Oh
something
shit!
like
So it was
that
like a teeny
was
tiny
like
thing.
$80.
No, I don't want to go there then.
No, I mean,
No,
there's
no.
much more than just Wagyu.
It was,
Like,
it
what
was
the
a
fuck?
lot more than that, but I'm just saying, like, you wanted the absolute best quality steak you could get there, and it was 1 ounce of it was $80.
I can get basically the same thing for free at from my girlfriend's.
Hold up.
brother.
Was it Japanese wagyu or American?
It was
one?
Japanese wagyu.
Japanese wagyu?
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
never mind.
It was
Yeah, I was gonna
Japanese.
say,
It was
you don't-
1
you don't-
ounce
Yeah, then
Japanese
that's
wagyu.
worth the price. then.
Yeah.
It was 1 ounce Japanese wagyu for $80.
I'd
Yeah.
rather
It was
just
like,
go to
holy
Japan and get
shit.
it for a lot cheaper there.
I'm pretty sure it's still the same price in Japan.
I'm
I'm
sure
pretty sure
it's not-
it's still an
not as
exclusive
expensive.
I thought it was like
cut.
8,000 yen in Japan, which is like $80.
it's
Eh,
it's still an
never
exclusive
not
cut, Michael. So it's probably worth still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money, but it's not
But
worth as
it-
much in Japan.
Yeah,
It's
in
just
Japan,
it's
food
just
is-
harder to find in Japan, but it's not worth as much.
Yeah, food in Japan is actually really affordable to go out. I hear it's like harder to like.
Well, okay,
cook your own
it's
food.
expensive for Japanese standards of food, right? Because like what bowl of ramen we normally get here is like $10. Out there, it's like $5.
Yeah.
Fuck! I'm moving to Japan. What the hell?
Yeah, so I mean, like the Wagyu steak we'd get.
Get my
Ramsay's,
top
like,
ramen for
80 to
20
100
cents.
bucks.
Well-
Like you probably find that in Japan, and like you'll probably get a double serving of that for $80. Normal is probably like 60.
God
But
damn.
like I said, that's a shit ton of money for a meal in Japan. That's like that kind of money you're spending on like 2 families worth of food there
Yeah, that's fair.
typically. So yeah, it's expensive, but like for Japan standards, not that expensive.
You also have to remember that portions are smaller there
Significantly.
by a lot. Like 120 is a fat man.
What, like 120 pounds?
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm obese over there.
Yeah.
Dude, not only that, I feel like, have you seen the
Depends
size
on it
differences?
depends on BMI and stuff like that too. But
You know, our small,
Huh?
like a small soft drink at like McDonald's or something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, I know
in,
America's.
in Japan, that's their large.
Yeah, I was gonna say in America, I know we just have stupidly large
Yeah.
stuff
our
compared to
portions
everyone
are
else.
Well, I mean, I was
No.
gonna say
No.
with this outro that we're recording this on Halloween night, but we're releasing episode 0 on the 5th, so that's coming. Well, it's already out,
It's
long
gonna
out
be
by
out
this
before you see
podcast,
this
but
episode.
long out.
I'm more just happy about that. That
Yeah.
we're finally releasing that
we
shit.
finally figured our shit out as editors, kind of.
A little bit.
We were having
Yeah.
major
And,
problems.
you know, we
now
took
we're
that
not,
long
so.
little siesta of like 3 weeks of not recording a
But we
podcast.
couldn't even get together because we were the 2 busiest people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you mean you guys were on the siesta? We were sitting here like, when the fuck are we doing this?
Okay, but like everyone had their own mini stuff inside the
That's
siesta
true.
too, so like it was kind of rough.
My
Me
point
Me and
was
Jason
we were
just
going to
sitting
be
here
more
playing games
active.
the entire time while you
I
guys
just
were
played
dealing with
games.
shit.
I think beyond this point, we're going to be more active on hopefully the Twitch, the Twitter, Instagram, hopefully the TikTok. We'll have
Yeah,
a few
we have a
TikTok
TikTok,
clips up
right?
there other than the
there
one we
is
have
one
now.
TikTok to clip up.
But
at the
I
moment.
will have those links in the description of the podcast, and I may do the work of editing all the links to it, even though I memed it in episode 0.
It's yeah. I'll
But
just throw it in the description and call it a day.
probably we're gonna be lazy like that after all this time.
Card on top. Right?
Card in the top. But yeah, that's
I think that's the right hand side.
that's really it. Hoping to be more active from here. And this has been episode 3.
Little
Well,
Caesars
thank you,
out.
viewers, for watching. We appreciate it.
Yeah, it's not going to be half as good as what I got yesterday.
That's fine. Yeah, it's pizza. There's no like, unless it's like Little Caesars. There's no truly okay. Unless it's like
It literally is Little Caesars.
All right,
You-
thank
you-
you for watching the podcast.
You
Thank you for
literally just did yourself
These
dirty.
monkeys, for some reason, are gonna go eat pizza with crust on it. Good night.
Wait, you what?
Thank you for watching the
Wait a
Pizza
minute.
Podcast.
Hold on. You don't like crust on pizza?
No,
we
I don't.
discussed this last night.
I
You
know,
remember
but then we
this?
haven't discussed this for them.
I don't like the crust on the pizza. It's just
Why?
It's just extra bread. If I wanted to eat bread, I'd go get a piece of bread from my fucking pantry. I'm not
mean
gonna
you
eat
don't
the crust.
do that
Huh? No. Why would I do that?
because you get hungry.
I'm confused.
Fucking carbs
I'm
don't do
so
shit.
confused.
Pizza crust
Sure
is
they
amazing.
do.
Tune in next week for pizza crust. Is it bad or not? Yes.
I'm so horny. Let's get some pizza.